Just another day at the office. No one here expects a disaster or emergency to strike them. That's something that only happens to other people on the news. But all too often, we find disaster can strike at anywhere, at any moment. Disaster comes in many forms. Bad weather, earthquakes, terrorism, and of course the most common and most probable of building hazards, fire. The more prepared someone is for a disaster, the less risk they are exposed to. That's certainly true for building emergency planning. But simply having a building emergency plan is only the beginning when it comes to keeping your occupants safe. Should an emergency occur, people are often unsure of what they should do and where they should go, putting themselves and perhaps others at unnecessary risk. When the alarm sounds, time is of critical importance. Contacting emergency services is always a must, but often you will need to take action before they're dispatched. This is why WPS Disaster Management Solutions created the eVAC Smart App for mobile devices. In the case of building emergency apps, one size does not fit all. With the custom-built eVAC Smart App, the building's emergency response team will possess all critical building emergency information in the palm of their hand during a potential crisis. With intimate knowledge of your building, eVAC will give your emergency personnel and occupants the confidence and know-how to carry out the building emergency procedures. eVAC will allow personnel to quickly select and switch to another role and provide them with specific emergency procedures to follow. The emergency procedures are easy to read and simple to follow instructions. An emergency personnel member will use these procedures to help guide them during an evacuation. The eVAC Smart App is designed to support and adapt, leading to a more orderly and effective evacuation. An integral part of eVAC is eNotifier, an effective and easy-to-use mass notification system that transmits emergency messages to all registered emergency personnel and/or tenants through SMS, voice, and email. A user can choose one of many pre-assembled message templates, or create a custom message of their own to broadcast. The building's emergency personnel will use any critical information that they receive in the message to take action accordingly, saving valuable time and possibly lives. eVAC users also have quick access to a building evacuation map. This map shows the user the building exits and the path they need to take to reach the recommended assembly area. In addition to the evacuation map, users can easily switch to the Street View mode, giving them a visual of the assembly area. This feature eliminates any guesswork as to where occupants should safely assemble during an emergency evacuation. When people know where to go and what to do, evacuations are much more orderly and safe than when people are left to figure out what to do on their own. For instance, many occupants may not realize that elevators no longer function during a fire emergency. With the eVAC Smart App, emergency personnel will be able to immediately guide occupants to the stairwells or exits, averting any potential risks. When occupants reach the assembly area, they can report in directly to the person in charge at the building, or conveniently use the evacuation report feature built into the app. With the evacuation report feature, building management can monitor and track wardens who report in direct to one of their team members. Wardens who report in remotely from inside or outside the building are also tracked. This is done by selecting the All Clear or Alert status. You can also type a detailed message should you need to relay important information about the status of an occupant requiring assistance to evacuate. The evacuation status of the building occupants is critical information the building management will need to give first responders when they arrive. With time and information being so crucial in an emergency, first responders who are armed with as much knowledge of the situation as possible can help avert any potential loss of life to the occupants and to their own team of responders. With everyone evacuated safely, the first responders are free to contain the situation and make it safe to return to the building if possible. Using eNotifier to conveniently communicate the status of the situation or incident will be greatly appreciated by your tenants and occupants. The eVAC Smart App was created by WPS, but built for emergency personnel who want to make safety for their building occupants a top priority. After all, when it comes to building life safety, it is these dedicated emergency personnel who are the true first responders. The need for eVAC is driven by life safety, but it's powered by innovation. To get eVAC for your building, call WPS for a free consultation at 1-800-545-9028 or visit our website at www.wpsevac.com.